let's get rolling. This is a 3-day workshop that we have. So be here at the same time, same link for the 3 days, and we've got some goodies for you guys as well for those that have that are going to be attending with us. And we'll hear from Chase shortly here as well.
Love it. Can everyone see my slides? Can just a few people like say yes in the chat? Make sure that we're good, please. All right, sweet.
Yes.
Fantastic. All right, let's rock and roll. First and foremost, like Bayan said, today's day one, perfecting the AI employee offer for local businesses. We're really excited about this. We really think this is going to be the most important thing moving into 2025. The biggest opportunity to be differentiating yourself from other competitors, and ultimately the biggest way to make the biggest impact and most amount of money for yourself, for your family, etc. All that jazz. Super excited about it. Here's the agenda for the next 3 days. Today, we're really going to talk about the ideal offer. You can't sell anything if you don't have an ideal offer. Day two, we're going to sell through a webinar. We're going to show you exactly how to do that. And you could take some of kind of the cues that we do today, which we'll talk about here in just a minute. And then day three, the best prompts for your clients, kind of getting into the more technical aspects of it that we're really excited about it. It's the same time, same link, every single day. Same time, same link. Tried to make it as simple as possible. I'm sure you'll get a bunch of notifications and reminders, but be here, be present, try to be focused so you can get the insight. Remember, we're here to provide you tactical information. Okay. So here's today's agenda. We're going to go through the features of the AI employee, talking about your target market, and then how to perfect your offer so you feel really confident moving into the sales position. We want you to go into your offers, into your sales conversations, feeling confident that not only you know what to say, how to say it, but you feel confident that you're being ethical, that you can deliver upon what you're promising to. We're not asking you to lie to anyone or make any unfulfilled promises. We want you to succeed, right? Extendly is a client success company. We want you to do the same as well. Okay. Now, our gift to you, just for being here for all 3 days, you're going to get 5 pitch decks to help you sell this AI. The reason we put together these 5 is just so there's differentiation for those of you that do stay with us, so you don't have to feel like, oh, but then everyone's going to have it. This is the benefit for you. It's really effective. Huge shout out to the Extendly team for putting these together. All you got to do, just be here all 3 days. We'll send it over to you Friday, December 20th. Okay. Friday, December 20th. We'll send it over to you. And yes, again, replays will be sent if you are here. Okay. Replays will be sent. We got you. No problem. Couple housekeeping items. Did I mention replays? Okay, cool. Questions. Any questions you have, if you can use the Q&A feature, which I don't think is on this session, guys. I don't think we have the Q&A feature.
It is.
So do you see the Q&A feature, guys?
Yeah. If they just
Okay,
hit more or
perfect.
you can see it. Yeah.
It's on the more button. If you press the Q&A, if you have any questions, that way we'll definitely see it. We have nearly 500 people on the session right now, so it's hard to like look at all the chats. So if you have a specific question, make sure you drop it and we'll make sure you're answered. At the end, we will have an option for you to work with us in an accelerated path to sell this AI, but we're going to give you everything you need over the 3 days to do it without us if you want to. It's your option. It's your choice. You can make that call. We're here to help you and accelerate you, make it faster and easier for you, but we're going to give you the information you need right now to win. All right. If you guys are ready, let's drop 7s in the chat. Let's make it happen. Let's do this thing. We're really excited about it. Let's dive on in. Let's welcome Chase Buckner, Master of Sandwiches. Is that how you prefer to be?
That
He's the
is my new
director of
title.
product marketing at HighLevel. You know him, you love him. And if you don't, where are you at? Well, you're missing out, man. Chase, so good to have you, brother. I'll lead the slides for you. So when you're ready for me to just move to the next ones, tell me, okay?
Okay, that sounds great. Thanks
Thanks so
for
much for
having me.
being. Yeah, thank you
Pumped
so
to
much.
be here. This is a great group. There's so much going on in the chat. I love it.
Love it. All right, let's rock and roll. Chase, take it away.
Cool. So hopefully everybody knows that we have rolled out a suite of AI tools across HighLevel that we call collectively the AI employee. So we've got content AI, pretty straightforward. If you guys have used ChatGPT, pretty much anywhere in the app that you can write something, you can hit the little AI button and it can assist you just like ChatGPT would with copy. Same thing with images. Anywhere that you need to add an image, you can create an image with AI. And that's obviously continuing to get better and better. I think the current state of images in general with AI isn't quite there yet. I mean, I don't know if you guys have played with Midjourney. I think that's like the best one. And even that takes me, I don't know, 45 minutes to get a workable image. So really excited to see as the image in general capabilities enhance, the content AI image generator will get even better and better. Reviews AI, we're going to talk more about, which is incredibly useful right now out of the box. I think everybody should be working with that one. But I guess we'll save that for a little bit when we talk about that in more detail. Funnel AI is another one that's really raw. I would say that's in skateboard phase for sure. But the team's working hard on that one right now. So basically, you can go say, hey, I need a funnel built. Here's my industry, and it'll spit you out a funnel that looks pretty good in about 30 seconds. But in the very near future, they're going to get way better. You're going to see that the images that get generated are going to be on industry and all that kind of stuff, the copy, all of that. So that one's still in skateboard phase, although workflow AI, the next one I think is very useful right now, which is when you're in a workflow, at the bottom left corner of your screen, you'll see like a little bubble. And when you click that, you can do two things. If it's an existing workflow, you can ask it, hey, what is going on in this workflow? And it will explain to you what that workflow does, which is really nice because if you ever hopped in an account to troubleshoot something and you go into a workflow and it's like, whoa, what is going on here? There's a million branches. And you'd have to like click through and like, put on your detective hat to figure out what this workflow actually does. Now you can have workflow just explain it to you. The other thing that it can do is if you're starting from scratch, you can just say, hey, here's what I want to do with this workflow. And it will tell you, okay, cool, you're going to need this trigger and you're going to need to add these actions, which is super helpful. But it'll be even more helpful in the near future because you'll be able to just hit go and then it will actually add those triggers and actions for you. So that's what's being worked on by the team right now. But it is really handy to just be able to say, hey, I'm trying to, send email reminders leading up to an appointment, and it'll tell you, okay, great, you need this, that, and that. Conversational AI and voice AI, I think, are the two biggest opportunities that have been created by HighLevel this year. And I know that we're going to talk about them at length today. Obviously, conversation AI is like chatbots. Voice AI is it will answer all of your calls and actually speak with people and do a bunch of cool stuff. So I think we can advance to the next slide to sort of dig into those two or three that we're going to talk more about. But yeah, I am super pumped up because I I can't think of a reason why a local business wouldn't want these three things. I think we're at this point in time, which is it's like if you went back to when websites first came out, businesses didn't all jump on board that they needed a website right away, right? Like it took them a year or two to realize, hey, every business needs one of these things. Okay, let's figure out where to go to get one, who could help us build one. I think that's where we're at right now with AI. Businesses are hearing the buzzwords, but they have no idea what it really means for their business or what it could do. And over the next 2 years, they're going to wake up to the fact that, holy crap, we need this stuff, or our competitors are just going to dust us. So who can we go talk to figure this out for us? And that is you all, right? So you're sitting there with the keys to sort of the next big leap in local business technology, where it's like because you can white label HighLevel, it's almost like you get to be WordPress for this next growth phase, right? And so, conversational AI, let's talk about them in reverse order because I actually think that's kind of how it goes in my mind. Reviews AI is just really useful. Google rewards businesses that reply to the reviews. It shows that you're an engaged business, but of course, like all things, businesses don't have the time to do it, so they don't. Reviews AI, you turn it on, it just replies to every review, and it does an amazing job. And I was on a webinar the other day, and a guy told this amazing story. He was a photographer, and he was like, "Yeah, I turned it on. I sort of forgot about it. And then I got a negative review, which doesn't really happen that often, but it just gave me a panic attack. I spent 2 days panicking, thinking about how I was going to reply to this guy's review. And when I finally put something together and I went to reply, I realized that the AI had already done it. And it did a way more professional job than I was about to do. He was like, my reply would have probably turned off anybody who read it. And so it just put me at ease going, oh my gosh, this thing handles the negative reviews as well. So if you haven't tried it, I would definitely check it out. It's a utility that, again, you turn it on for a business, they're never going to tell you to turn it off. They're going to be happy to pay for it. It's just a really great piece to add into your packages or sell standalone. I don't know if the perceived value of this is super high. If you were to sell this one standalone, I'd be curious to hear people like Alex talk about that. but it's super, super useful. And so you should definitely have it running, especially if you're providing local SEO services. It's just another one of those factors that you can make sure gets hit using AI.
And,
If
and,
we
and
go
just to
back,
add a
yeah,
little
go for it.
Just to add a little bit to that, if you go on Google, you're looking at the businesses, maybe the businesses that you want to target. Let's just say that, right? You'll notice a lot of businesses don't respond to their reviews, right? So it's a great way to enter in to solve that problem and let them know if responding to them can actually help their business rank up as well, while you also help them get more reviews.
Totally. It's a great foot in the door. And again, if you just do some quick research, you'll see stats and studies that have been done that again show it seems pretty certain that Google rewards businesses that reply to the reviews because again, it shows that you're an engaged business. But I also believe there's a psychological effect. If you see that a business replies to all of their reviews, you will be more likely to leave one because you want that dopamine hit of a reply as well. And so it creates more reviews, which is definitely a signal to Google that they basically improve your local rankings the more reviews and the more consistently that you generate positive reviews. So there's multiple positive effects that come with this. And again, we can take it out of human hands and put it into an AI's hands, and it will make sure that every review gets replied to, which is fantastic. Okay.
Yeah,
You guys want to talk about conversation or voice next? I like to go voice next, but we could do it either way.
let's go to voice.
Voice is amazing. I think voice is the most polished piece of AI that has, come out in its initial state. Let's just run down the list. If you don't know what it does, you set it up, it answers all of the inbound calls, just like a voicemail would, but it talks. It's an AI that speaks back and forth with the caller. After the call's over, it sends a transcript to the business, which is amazing. We'll come back to that in a second, but it's a recap of the call with a transcript of the call so that the business can see exactly what the AI said and what the caller said. It summarizes the call and puts that into the notes in the contact record so you can go back and review that. You can have up to 20 different voice AI agents at once. So if you want to train one to handle one thing and another to handle another, you can do that. Right now it's only in English. We will roll it out in other languages, but you can choose between like 60 accents of English right now, which is awesome. If you're in Australia, you can pick an Australian voice, you can pick a British voice, etc. It does call transfers, which is amazing. So it's like you can create call trees or replace a business's call tree with a call tree on steroids, right? So you can call in, it can converse with the caller and figure out, oh, you want to talk to somebody in billing. Hang on, let me transfer you over there. It can transfer you to another voice AI agent or to a human. But the fact that it can do those transfers is really powerful. It can trigger workflows, which is incredible, right? Because in a workflow, we can basically do anything that we want. And so we can trigger a workflow based on what happened on a call. Same thing with SMS, which is amazing because you've heard us talk for years about the missed call text back, the power of that, the value of that. Alex has helped us educate so many people on how to go sell that one thing for $500 a month. Voice AI is that on steroids because not only will it answer the call, converse with them, figure out what they're looking for, let them know that you're going to follow up. It can also say, hey, we're going to shoot you a text message in a second as well, so we can keep this conversation rolling. It records the calls so that your clients can go review those, and it can even extract key pieces of information, which is very powerful, right? We can create custom fields and then tell our voice AI agents, hey, I need this piece of information from everybody that calls. Make sure you get it. When it does get it, it will store it into that field moving forward. So I think this is such an incredible standalone product okay, so what's the total potential market here? Well, I don't know how many local businesses have voicemail, right? That is literally the blue ocean opportunity that this has created here for you to just go say, hey, have you upgraded your voicemail with AI yet? They're going to go, I don't even know what that means. And you go, well, let me show you something amazing. Call this number and watch what happens, right? So I have been just blown away to see what the community, especially folks like Bayant, have done with this already. Again, going back to pizza, Bayant has an incredible demo set up for one of his pizza shops where the thing full on takes your order, which I thought I had assumed was a little outside the bounds of what was possible at this current state. But he opened my eyes to how far that you can really take this if you get into prompting. And that's why I love folks like Bayant and the Extendly community. They're really going deep and helping people learn how to prompt. But even if you don't know how to prompt out of the box, I think this thing is amazing for any local business, right? Voicemail stinks. If you're like me, I don't know, throw two in the chat if when you leave a voicemail, you're not actually sure that anything's going to happen. Like, I'm not actually sure that's going to get to anybody at that business. Do they even check their voicemail? I never check mine, right? So if you have an AI agent saying, hearing you, oh, okay, I understand you're calling because you're looking for this. Great. I'm going to let the humans know. I'm actually going to send you a text message in a second so that we can keep the conversation going. Then I feel confident enough where, okay, I don't have to call a competitor here. This business is actually going to follow up with me. So I think this is incredible. It's super valuable. I'm sure Alex is going to get into, the mechanics of how you sell this, but basically we're talking about how much. This is actually a fun fact. Did you know that Sean Clark, one of our founders, his original business was an answering service? And if you talk to him about that, they got paid to all they did was just be a friendly voice that answered the phone, asked you why you were calling, noted that down, and said, great, we'll get back to you. That was it. And that is a tried and true business model that is very expensive, that's been around for a very long time. And now you literally can go do that with AI and do it better. So I think that's an incredible opportunity. We'll talk more about that in a second. If we want to roll into conversation AI, or if you guys want to jump in at this point and add any color to that, or I'll just keep trucking.
Yeah, voice, just like what Chase mentioned, voicemail for businesses sucks. I can't recall one single business that I've called if I got their voicemail that I've actually left them a voicemail. It's usually hanging up. I'm sure majority of the human behavior is in that manner as well. We all just hang up, which is why missed call text back was so great, because when you hang up, then you got that text message back, right? Now, imagine not even having to send a text message, instead actually answering that call every single time that call came in, whether it's as a voice AI receptionist on the front end where the voice AI answers the call first before it even goes to a human, or it acts as an answering service or an overflow center where the business gets the chance to answer it first. If they can't answer it, then the voice AI picks up. You got both options available to be able to help businesses on both sides and get the call answered every single time. Chase touched on this just a little bit. And we'll talk about it in just a bit as well. I'm actually using this in my pizza shops as a test. I wanted to see how it is, theory versus actual real life experience and real life scenarios, how voice AI handles those calls. So I did a really easy test where all I just wanted to do is act as a voice AI enabled receptionist. And originally, what started off with what was just literally transferring every single call as people would come in. I just wanted to hear what was the first question they were asking when people were coming in, and I wanted every single call to be transferred to the store or to the call center that takes our orders for the pizzas, right? And I was mind blown understanding how many different types of questions people ask when they first call, and they just want to get some information before they even place the order. And now that's turned into us building a decent size of a FAQ section inside our prompt, where now majority of the calls that are transferred are just orders that people are placing, which leads to saving a bunch of time for my employees who now are only taking calls that are related to orders or maybe complaints, if there are any, right? But they're not taking calls answering, what size is your, large pizza? What size how many slices are on that? They're not taking, do you have gluten-free? Do you got vegan choices, right? All of those, do you do catering? All of those questions are answered before they're transferred. Now they're taking calls that are literally money making, which is entering a sale into the POS system.
And just
Back
keep
to
in
you, Chip.
mind, tomorrow we're going to be talking more about how to actually sell these products. But as a quick teaser based off what Chase and Band were saying, like the concept of maximizing current opportunities is essentially what you are selling when you sell high level, right? Every business is letting opportunities slip, especially so you leveraging AI. Not only are you maximizing opportunities, you're also staying on the cutting edge. And this is going to be something that's very important, particularly for Q1. Then as you move closer towards Q2 and Q3, ensuring that you fulfill upon the things like Band is referencing is going to be the second key, because the sales in the front end of the year are going to be a lot easier than what they'll be in the second half once people have started adopting it and the adoptions are not working the way they want them to. So it's why it's really important that we're going to help you set up how to do it properly too. So we'll talk more about that tomorrow.
Nice. Absolutely. I'll address this right away just so we can get past it. Every one of these I do, people always ask, what about outbound? Outbound, we're going to work on it in very specific scenarios, but I always ask the question, outbound as a marketer sounds really exciting. As a human, terrible. Nobody wants to receive a sales call from an AI bot. So I personally don't believe that outbound will be legal for very long, but we are going to work on it in specific use cases, like someone has booked an appointment and maybe it can call out and confirm that, or leading up to appointment, maybe it can call and just confirm that you're still planning on attending. So those limited use cases are what we're looking at now, but outbound sales bots, I don't know that you'll ever see that. I don't know that that will be even legal for very long, but we'll see how it all goes. Conversation AI, I think, is incredibly exciting, especially if you're an agency or a consultant that does lead generation. This is a tale as old as time, right? The agency that I built, for years, we made the classic mistake of running ads for clients and then sending them emails saying, hey, you got a lead, here's their name, their email, their phone number, and then praying that they did a good job following up. Of course they didn't. There's stats and studies around this. Basically, you've got 5 minutes to engage a lead. No business can do that consistently. And so we start leveraging text message automation, which was a game changer, right? We use HighLevel to send text messages back, and that really improved things. We've seen thousands of you guys do the same thing and have amazing results. The problem is, and this is a funny true story. So we're working on a case study right now for our new ads manager, because you can launch Facebook ads from inside of HighLevel. Haplin on my team has a friend, and they have a ceramic studio. So it's like a gym where you pay a membership, and then you can just reserve the equipment, the wheels and whatnot, whenever you want, the ovens and all that. So we're running a case study with them, running ads, and the ads are going really well. Super cheap leads are coming in, and we're automating a text message back that just says, thanks for claiming the promo. Have you ever, been to a ceramic studio before? Pretty much everybody engages with that text. It's awesome. The problem is, first day it's running, all these replies are coming in. We've engaged all these leads, and the lady messaged Haplin, and she's like, hey, I see all these conversations coming in, but I'm in the middle of a class. I can't get to them. Could you respond to those people for me? And we both just kind of looked at each other and laughed. And it's like, this is where conversation AI is going to change everything, right? Conversation AI can be there to answer all those questions that the people have after you engage them. And so here's just a quick, these screenshots are actually from a demo that I put together in like 10 minutes. I grabbed a deck builder template website, put it up, Googled a real deck builder, fed their URL into the conversation AI, and then I started asking it questions, and you can see it did a great job answering my questions, and then it tried to get me to book. Sent me the booking link. You can even do conversation booking with it, right? Because we do online scheduling HighLevel, it can see the availability and it can just conversationally say, well, I've got 2 p.m. tomorrow or 4 p.m. Or 8 a.m. on Saturday. And you can just say, I'll take the 8 a.m. on Saturday, and it'll book you. So for me, this is like the holy grail of marketing. I believe that as conversation AI gets better and better, we're going to see a shift of ad spend go back into messenger ads that run right into a conversation AI. Because there's always the dominant portion of your leads have questions that they need answered before they will feel confident to take the next step. And a conversation AI bot can do that for them and then book them. And then when you have that running, you are no longer selling leads. You are in the business of selling booked appointments, which is a game changer because most local businesses know what to do from there. So I am super excited with this one. I think conversational AI is a little more complex to get set up well. And so, definitely working with folks like Bayant and the Extendly team to help you build those prompts for conversation AI. But I think the potential here is massive because, every business thinks that they need leads. And so you come in and say, yeah, 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 we can generate leads, but we do way more than that. We generate you bookings on your calendar. And so I'm just super excited about where this one's going. And again, it's been amazing to watch folks like the Extended community and the examples that they're building out. So I'm curious to know, Bayon, Alex, I mean, do you agree? Do you feel like, for me, this is sort of the holy grail of marketing?
Yeah, I mean, conversational AI is definitely great, especially when you pair the voice AI together with conversational, because especially voice AI, well, I'm sure it will just a few down the road, but today it can't book appointments, right? So you can send a link, you can have it trigger a text message, send a link, and then it sends them a text message. Now, imagine if you have conversational AI enabled on the other end of that. If they have any questions they want to ask, they can send a text message back, and now conversational AI can engage and start answering those questions as well. So you're kind of doing a handoff from voice to text and continue on using the AI without having to have a real human involved. And I always say this as well. Sometimes we feel, oh my God, it can't solve my all of my entire problem or the entire use case that I'm trying to go for, which or it takes a lot of time to set this thing up. I got to do this or that. I got to enter a lot of data in. Always start with the very simple entry level use case so that it's easy to get in, start seeing results, and then expand from there as you see more and
Absolutely.
more. A lot of times you'll notice that whatever you had in mind wasn't actually what it needed. The customers were asking different questions. So, for example, for like my pizza shops, I thought, why the hell would anyone call the pizza shop without wanting to order a pizza, right? Until I started collecting data and realized that I didn't need to have the voice AI only being able to take pizza orders, right? I can have it answer a bunch of these questions and all these type of things that people are doing and asking, and save a lot of time for my team. So similar rules apply to almost anything you start with. Start with the entry level use case first, then expand as you learn more about that product. It'll become easier and easier, and you'll save a few gray hairs along the way as well.
So that's a great point. And I want to expand on that because AI makes things so scalable, right? An employee can only be on one phone call at a time. And half the time when they answer, it's a spam call. So they are likely missing another call when they're on the spam call, right? And so I think we're going to see more businesses say, can you just send all of my calls straight into this AI voicemail and have it figure out the calls that we actually need to answer and forward those, but then take care of the 90% of the other stuff that isn't something that we actually have to get on the phone for. The same thing is true with chat, right? It's asynchronous. Somebody can handle 20 text conversations, I mean, especially younger folks, at the same time versus one phone call at a time, right? So
Sure.
to me, I think you're just going to see local businesses waking up to the fact that they need this stuff and that it's
Nope.
so much more scalable. And again, that's where we come in, right? We're the problem solvers. They have no idea what software they need, how to set it up. That's where they turn to us. And so this is the opportunity to literally go door to door. And I think starting with voice AI, we can probably move through the slides and have this conversation or start this conversation, which is I love starting with voice because you could go sell it and have them not have them even need to log into HighLevel at all, right? Because you could say, look, I'm going to set this up for you. It will answer your calls and it's just going to email you a recap of what happened. If you don't want them to get into SMS and managing all of that, like you could just sell that as a standalone package that requires nothing of them. Um, as far as actually doing anything. And I think you could do quite well with it. And then you could upgrade the package to have the SMS capabilities if you want to start triggering SMS and voicemails. And then if you're capable of managing conversation AI, you could upsell from there, right? So I think the ascension ladder is all nicely laid out here. And I think you can start with a really solid product that you could literally just walk down Main Street knocking on doors and start selling to businesses that would require very little support because they're not even logging into the platform.
Two quick things on that. One, less than 1% of the people that are in the high-level ecosphere will do what Chase just said. They will take it as a non-literal recommendation. Chase is being literal. He's saying, get off the computer, go in person downtown. There's not enough businesses. Is there 3? That's 3 clients. Is there 20? That's 20 opportunities. You'll still get rejected, of course, but part of it is how many opportunities are you creating and curating? The other element that Chase is talking about of the ascension ladder, consider over time, right? Conversational AI, in my opinion, will be the most impactful and important because just like current kind of AI, it's not AI, but current bots for, any call center, everyone's pressing 000. That will eventually happen, right? After people are like, okay, cool, it's great. I already know what you're going to say. Human being, human being. Conversational AI is good enough to mask. It's good enough to mask. It's good enough to mask that you're not speaking to a person or telling them, at least getting them the answers faster than a human being would. It's really valuable to have this, and that's why we're talking about it today.
Oh my gosh, to that point. Okay, here's another factor that people aren't thinking about. I think us as humans and consumers are going to love interacting with voice AIs. Because think about this. How many times when you go call a business, order a pizza, pull up to Wendy's, the person on the other end is not having a good day? Right? These are
Yeah.
low paying jobs where people are pissed off all day long. They make you feel like, you're rude for wanting to pay the business for whatever their goods or services are. And AI is always friendly. It's fully trained. It's never going to have a bad day. It's never going to make you feel bad. So I think we as humans are actually going to love voice AI because it's like, oh, I don't have that awkwardness of talking to a human who may or not be happy that the job of the about the job that they're in. You know what I mean? It doesn't get offended. Exactly, Jesse. So again, I just think local businesses are going to fall in love with this product. And what's exciting is right now they don't even know it exists. They don't even know this is possible.
That's right. Love it.
And a point to add to that is, I want to ask a question. How many of you think that businesses change their phone service on a regular basis, every few months or so, right? The regular landline service that they have, how many of them change? Almost never, right? Maybe once in 5 years or something like that, they may decide to go from AT&T to Comcast or Xfinity or something like that, or vice versa, whatever. But rarely they ever change their phone service. Voice AI is going to be very, very similar to that. The sooner you get in to those businesses, it's going to be the item that you've worked on training it so well where they know it's answering a lot of my questions already, and I don't need to change that. So the fast mover advantage here with voice AI is if you get in first, then you have a lockdown on that business and they're sticking with you for a very, very long time.
And to that point, this is pretty cool. You can actually most telco companies, you can forward calls, unanswered calls. So like if you don't want to have to roll in and be like, look, you should buy this and you're going to need to change your phone number. You can actually say, I can forward your existing number when it doesn't get an answer to your new voice AI agent if you just want to try it out like that. And so we have a help doc, but you can just Google like how to forward Comcast calls, unanswered calls or whatever. And it's just like a code you punch into the phone. So that barrier, you don't even really have to deal with out of the gate if you don't want to try to convince them to change their number right out of right out of the gate. What's up with all the like drawing
Yeah, if
lines?
you guys are drawing on the screen, please remove it, guys. Please remove it. Chase, anything else on voice AI before we start talking about our target market?
No, let's go for it.
Perfect. Let's dive into this, guys.
Yeah, and I think, this isn't going to be a shocker when we go to the next slide. Your target market is your community, everything around you, right? So I love an exercise that we do. It's like, who cuts your hair? Who makes your favorite meal? Where do you get your favorite drink? You know what I mean? Just list out all of these services that you frequent. And this is where you go find your original customers, right? It makes outreach easier. If you send an email, it's like, hey, my family, we order from you guys every Wednesday. We absolutely love the whatever. Um, what I don't love is when I call in and I don't get an answer, which happens kind of frequently. Did you know that you can set up a voice AI agent to handle these things? You can go from there. You can just walk in and they know your face already. So you already have a leg up on an outside competitor, right? And so the target market is massive. There are, I don't know, millions of small businesses that get started every year. But again, I wouldn't think outside of your local community if you're just getting started. Right now, as I'm sure we'll mention at HighLevel, it's the season of AI. So all of this is actually free until the end of the year. So you actually have a couple of more weeks where you could just go get people into this and have them test it out without even incurring a cost. And so to me, it doesn't get any less stressful than that. You can go into your local gym, your car repair shop, your pet shop, your vet, whatever, and just say, hey, I would really love for you to try this out because I think every veterinarian is going to need this. Check out how it works, call this number, and basically set yourself up with a demo that you can have people call into. They'll experience it, they'll get the text message back. And again, I think this is so, this is Alex's realm, but for me, this is so low pressure sales because it's something that is so new. People, it's not like, oh, here it comes. They're going to try to sell me on, whatever, switching my internet service again. This is sort of magical. We have the opportunity to go introduce something to a market that is for sure going to be something that that market pays for in the very near future. So yeah, I don't have much more to say about the target market other than it's just a massive blue ocean. You just have to get out there. And so, okay, yeah, if we look at this one, totally. Local businesses all have the same problems. Missed calls is huge. If you think about when you call a business and you don't get an answer, what you do, you go call the next competitor, right? And so the missed call text back solved that by shooting a text back immediately so that they wouldn't go on to the next competitor. But now we can solve it at the point of the problem where the call actually gets answered by the voice AI and we don't even give them the chance to start moving on to a competitor. Repetitive questions, as Bayant pointed out. You know how many times a day a restaurant gets asked about gluten-free and how much time their employees spend answering that question every day? We can have all that stuff taken care of by AI. It can just know all of your FAQs. It can handle all that stuff. And again, it can do transfers if it needs to. But all of this stuff is just really no-brainer. And then the not enough customer stuff, we kind of solve that with solving missed calls, but we also can solve that with conversation AI. We talked a lot about that. If we're doing lead gen, we can dramatically increase the results of paid ads by having conversation AI in place and voice AI for that matter as well, right? Because leads like to call in and ask questions before they take the next step. So knowing that all of these local businesses all have these same problems, it makes it very easy to build outreach and to build, sales scripts and frameworks to use when you get into these conversations. And, that's sort of where my expertise ends, and I defer to folks like Alex. But just know that all of these businesses have the same problems and you are not some used salesperson trying to shill them something. You are somebody that they're going to fall in love with because you can help them solve their problems. And if you go into it with that mindset, I think it makes it way less scary and way easier to actually get off the chair, get off the couch and walk into a business and say, hey, I'd love to show you something.
And a couple quick things. I'm getting a lot of DMs asking questions related to like selling it and packaging it and pricing. All of that we are going to cover today and tomorrow. So you feel ultra confident going into businesses, speaking to them, how to position it, how to sell it, and not just doing it for free. Because I know some of us are going to default to that. You don't have to default to that. That can be your last ditch effort. Cool. Awesome. Get paid for the work that you do. Yay. Okay. That's what I wanted to make sure I stated. Anything else on this slide, guys?
Nope, let's roll.
Cool beans. Awesome. Oh, I think, Ben, we skipped one.
All right, so voice AI in pizza restaurants. So coming again, guys, coming from my own personal experience using this thing at my own pizza restaurants. When I started using it, launched it only at the one location, and I touched on it a little bit earlier, where all it was doing was just transferring calls. I actually built out a whole demo where it could take orders as well. The reason we didn't go solving the entire problem right out of the gate was I wanted to really understand what I'm getting myself into first, how it looks like in real life scenarios as well, before we get to solving that ultimate problem, which is now just taking orders and not even having to transfer the call over to the employees at the store. We'll get there as well, but I like taking smaller steps, making sure we're going the right direction. This is a real business. This is not a test
Yeah,
business.
and let's talk about that because I'd love to get Alex's take on it as well. If it's me, I think the current state of AI is amazing, but it's not perfect, right? We know that. If you play with a chatbot, it's every now and then going to say something goofy. And while I think voice AI is even better, I don't think it's perfect. So if I were out selling this, I would be having conversations like, if you want to be on the cutting edge of what is possible right now, let's get this set up. It might goof out every now and then, but the benefits are going to so far outweigh that
That's
that
right.
if it's me and my business, I'm all in on this. Put it
The
out there right out of the gate, right? Don't set yourself up for an awkward scenario where they're expecting it to be perfect and, it's just not.
transparency in selling is ultimately going to be key. We're going to be talking about that a lot more tomorrow as well. So that they make sure that they understand they're on the cutting edge of this getting started, and it would be the worst it will ever be. It's like when people had the iPhone and it was unbelievable and amazing, and there was about thousands and thousands that had the flip phone. They're like, "What's that thing?" That's your opportunity. You're going to be the first because it's going to take over obviously the entire landscape of business and life over the coming 3, 5, 10 years and beyond.
Absolutely. And using this thing at my own business has made me confident enough that we're rolling it out to additional stores of ours as well. Eventually, we'll roll it out to all the stores, right? It's done well over 200 or 300 calls at this time. And I've listened to a lot of those calls. I've read a lot of those transcripts that came in just because I wanted to see if it was doing the right job and it was handling things. Yes, there were a couple times it goofed up where someone asked about a menu item. I thought it was talking about Pizza Hut and said, I can't help you with Pizza Hut, but I can help you with ordering a pizza here, right? And they taste delicious, which was cool. A little bit of a competitive analysis advantage there that it but then at another point, the accent was a little off, and it couldn't understand what the person was saying. They were asking about if your meat, if your pizza had halal meat toppings. And once I found out, oh, they were talking about halal meat on there, I added that question into it. Now it says, hey, yeah, we have lamb, forget what the pizza is called, lamb kebab pizza, which uses halal meat. Rest of our meats are not halal, but we do have plenty of vegetarian options, right? So now it provides that answer at anytime someone asks that. And we get that question quite a bit from what I've noticed. And now it's deferring all of those, and people are like, okay, great. Now I'm ready to order. Now then they go straight to ordering, and now we're able to take that order from them. So the entire concept here is that it's working out well. Yes, it's going to goof up, here and there. It's not that big of a deal. I'm doing it in my own businesses. It's the confidence continues to build up on a day by day, to a point where right now, up until day before yesterday, we actually had it say, "This is Ashley, the AI assistant at the pizza shop," right? And now I've removed the word AI assistant out of that. Now it just says, "Hi, I'm Ashley. Thank you for calling, blah, blah, blah. How can I help you today?" Right? So I want to see how people are interacting with it now and see what type of questions people ask with it, ask the AI there. And so far, from the few calls that it's taken since the change, it's doing really, really well. And it's continuing to do well. And so I would suggest try it out for yourself, see how it works, apply it to the businesses. Again, don't try to solve the entire use case, the big problem right out of the gate. The small problems have enough effect where you'll eventually lead to solving that larger problem as well. It can already do things like help people book appointments. Yes, it can't do it through conversationally over the phone yet, but you can have it trigger off a link to the appointment calendar and have them book an appointment there, right? That solves, so salons and a bunch of other businesses that take appointments, that's an immediate use case solved right away for them, having the calendar integrated with it and just sending off a link there.
100%. So you're hearing Bayon say he's implemented it for his real businesses. I have a friend who also has a brew pub, so they sell pizza as well as other things. And he's like, every time I see him, he's like, "Do you have time to sit down and set that up yet?" Like he's salivating at the the idea of taking the phone out of his staff's hands, right? He knows that it's a nightmare what's happening when people call in. And he's like, from what you've told me, I need to get this set up ASAP. And I'm like, someday I'll get it set up for you. I'm sorry. Or I'll put him in touch with somebody. But I think that's going to be the trend, right? I think if you go ask any local business, like, how is your phone situation? How would you rate your staff as far as how they handle the incoming phone calls? I don't think it's good for the large majority of local businesses just because it's such a challenge. And so hopefully that gives you the confidence, and I'm sure Alex will give you a lot more confidence in a minute to just get out there and start having those conversations. Like, hey, did you know this is possible? I'd love to show this for you. Let's get this set up for your business and see how it does.
That's right.
Yeah, and there's plenty of little use cases that you can build in. So, to give you guys another example, we had a little bit of a situation a few months ago where a new employee came in and they didn't know about allergen information that related to our pizzas, and they provided a wrong answer, right, to this customer. I won't go into details of what all of that was, but now, anytime someone calls a voice AI, asks about anything related to allergen, and pizza shops have a high turnover with, just because they're a fast food restaurant, the turnover and keeping employees trained all the time is really, really hard. But I have to train the voice AI one time and tell it how to answer that question, and it gets it right every single time. Now we don't have to worry about constantly training and having the liability and maybe giving a wrong answer like it had happened before. Now it knows exactly how to answer that question. Matter of fact, we have it set up where it sends the link to the allergen information sheet to the customer and says, "Hey, I've sent you a text message with all of our allergen information. Go ahead and open it up, take a look." Right. And now they have everything on their hand. Now they can decide, what they were looking for, if it's there or not. So in that manner, plenty of similar use cases that you can solve and remove the training aspect for employees to the AI as well. All right. Sorry, Chase, do you have something to add
No,
to
I
that?
said I love it.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit about how to package this thing for the entire AI employee offer for your businesses, for the local businesses that you may want to go ahead and talk to, right? So we've put together, taking a look at the entire AI employee, we've put together an offer that you can go ahead and talk about with your customers. Here's all the things that all the benefits that it offers to your customers that you can provide through the AI employee feature within HighLevel, right? So first off, it handles calls. We just talked about handling calls for the pizza shops, right? So you can plenty of other businesses you can handle calls for. It can schedule appointments using sending the link to have them book the appointment on the calendar. It can manage FAQs for them. The reviews AI can help boost reviews, asking for reviews constantly. And more importantly, it saves a lot of time and money for those businesses money because you don't have missed calls right now that you're losing money through potential sales, and time because you're only talking to those that really matter, the calls that really, really matter that are going to bring you the money. And we've talked about it that yes, people may be, somewhat scared of the word AI or artificial intelligence and may take a step back. But if you personify it and talk to them as if it's a person, an employee handling your calls, it eases people in a little bit to and opens up their mind to actually implement this thing, and it actually does a fantastic job. So it's a matter of them testing it out, trying it, and see what all the capabilities there are and the benefits they achieve from it. So we've called it Lenny, right? As an example, we've called it Lenny. So here's Lenny's capabilities. This is what Lenny can do for you using just the AI employee portion of HighLevel. You can have a virtual reception. You can have a answering service, after hours answering service there as well. AI appointment booking, AI texting, right? Conversational AI can allow you to text back and forth and answer questions through there as well. Call recording is part of it. Automating review management and replying to reviews is also part of it. And you can also send real-time notifications when the calls come in, have them, even if they wanted to answer the call on their on mobile app, you could do that as well. And send other text alerts and app notifications to let them know when a review comes in, when a call comes in, when a call is being handled, when a text message comes in. All of that can be handled all within AI employee capabilities within HighLevel. Now notice we're not talking about bundling the entire every single feature of HighLevel and just throwing it in their lap. We're making a very specific use case out of this and showing them the exact problems that it can handle for you. It's also not leading from the marketing angle. It's leading from the operational angle here as well, right? So you're not promising them, hey, we're going to get you 20 new leads and boost your business so much that you're going to make millions of dollars starting tomorrow. That's not the case. We're not talking about revenue increases or anything, although it does that. But that is not the angle we're taking, which majority of all marketing agencies are used to, 20 leads in the next 30 days or 50 leads or new orders, this or that, right? This is a change and a shift in that business offer that you're putting out. You're attaching yourself to the core of that business operations. I've talked about attaching yourself in the core of the business operations before as well, but your offer becomes so sticky at this point when they are relying, their business is dependent on this answering calls and they're starting to see the value of it. The chances of them canceling are very, very slim, unless you're just doing an extremely terrible job, which at that point, that's on you. Do a better job. Don't do a terrible job, please. But as
Too
soon as you
good.
attach yourself to the operational core, you're there. You're there to stick with them and continue on.
This is why, by the way, tomorrow is so critical to make sure that the way you're selling it and positioning it, not that it's roses and rainbows, absolutely perfect every single way, is going to ensure that you earn a lot of equity and relationship equity, trust equity, so that when there's inherently going to be a problem or bug, they're not looking to blame you. They're looking to solve the problem with you because they look at you as a partner that's going to work with them ongoing forever. And being early adopting on this is going to be a massive, massive difference of your first 6 months of 2025.
And trust me when I say this, no business owner has the time to sit there and to fiddle with technology to learn about it and
No
try to
chance.
train, prompt, and all of that. So
No
they're going to
chance.
rely on you as the partner. Sell that as part of the service as well, right? This is not just a software only where you could go to some website and sign up for a cheap subscription and now you're in. We're actually going to make this thing more useful for you. If a business owner can't get use out of the product or subscription that they're paying for, that subscription is worth nothing to them. They might as well just cancel and not do anything with that. They much rather pay a higher amount to someone or for a product or service that's going to help them see the results. So talk to them about that. You are a part of the solution. here as well. And that's how you can differentiate yourself from a bunch of other SaaS companies that may be out there attempting to sell just the software and kind of do it yourself type of solution. You're going to do it for them, and which means you're going to get them results much, much faster. So what do they get out of applying the AI employee to their business? They get increased revenue because they're not missing calls anymore. You could be out there if a plumber's there, an electrician, HVAC person, they're out there on jobs. They can continue to work on jobs, and instead of having to stop and answer the call because the AI is taking care of it for you. A lot of times these guys are doing an estimate with another customer, talking to them, and they have to stop and look at their phone because now the phone's ringing to answer their call. They don't have to do that anymore. The AI employee is taking care of that while they can continue paying, give their attention to the customer that they're in front of right now. You get better reputation because you can program the reviews AI to ask for a review every single time consistently and reply to those reviews as well. And overall, it leads to stress-free operations because more calls are being answered and taken care of rather than customers getting upset that, man, every single time I call this business, they never answer their call. I have a question. I really want to use them. They just don't answer their call. Fine, I'm going to go to the next customer, right? Or next business. You don't have that problem anymore. You solve that problem for them, ultimately leading to higher profits for that business. All right, Alex, I'm going to pass this over to you.
It's
You're on mute, by the way.
probably important to be unmuted in order to do this, right? So here's how we stack the offer. Okay. So ultimately, our kind of breakdown is the Lenny Salon AI bundle. This is kind of our format and recommendation for you. Okay. So let's say you have virtual receptionist. We're arguing this concept that this is roughly a $600 a month value. We think the reason behind this is if you were to have a legitimate receptionist, it's going to cost significantly more than that. But on average, some businesses know about maybe outsourcing to other places, Latin America, et cetera. So this is kind of on par with what you would expect potentially. Then you have automated review management. You're looking at that roughly in the $300 a month or so value. Again, if you consider that any business or any, person or buyer is going to go to look at a review for the restaurant they're going to, that they're going to spend $30 on, I'm pretty sure your wife is going to go check out, the salon's reviews and how they're being responded to. The expectation also with reviews, as a reminder, people love complaining, like in general, in case you're unaware of that. A lot of reviews are inherently negative unless the business is asking for a lot of positive ones. And if the owner is responding politely, respectfully, with care and help and wanting to make sure the experience is better, you're going to have a better shot, obviously, of them going. And that's why it's worthwhile. You think about one client a month coming from a review, of course it's worth $300. It's a no-brainer. The next piece is going to be the conversational AI texting. Again, this, employee that never sleeps, never takes vacations, never sick, never offended, never annoyed, never rude, right? Just consistently available back and forth for answering and supporting any mainline questions that you have. This is probably the most robust thing possible right now. I think it's worth more than $500 a month, but in a general sense, like this is to me the main element of that will be most mind-blowing outside of the voice AI to your prospects, that they can't believe that this is actually viable and ready for them, and just showcasing a quick demo will prove it to them. Then obviously AI appointment booking, right? Included in Lenny, the concept of not having to have, again, a sales development representative, someone following up, calling, etc., which they probably won't do. Anyways, most businesses struggle with this, right? Most businesses want to make more money, and the reason they want to make more money is because the current at-bats they have, they're missing out on. Again, the best frame of reference I can give you, and we'll talk more about this tomorrow, when you are selling HighLevel, you are selling the opportunity to maximize the current opportunities. They have a leaky bucket. AI and HighLevel fills the leaky bucket. Everyone else is trying to sell new opportunities. You are selling them how to maximize the ones you currently have, which is hugely beneficial, also known as selling against having to spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on ads, as an example. Okay. Onboarding and VIP 24/7 support. Obviously, if you use Extendly and you're an Extendly client, this is part of it, of course. Call recordings and transcriptions. Everything's recorded to make sure that if anything's going on, you can hear what it said and you can review it. Obviously, super valuable. Real-time notifications. Obviously, this is a common thing for a phone, but essentially making sure that they're going to be able to see the information right away so they can step in whenever they want. After hours answering service. Again, this is things people pay for. It's literally a service that many companies pay for that can go away with this. It can literally go away and it can be part of your package and service. And then a potential bonus to consider the the counter card, right? Like encouraging the people that are there to leave reviews right then and there. And so commonly people are not leaving enough reviews. And again, if you're not getting your clients to encourage their clients to leave reviews, inherently the most common reviews are when people have a poor experience. You have to have an exceptional experience to leave a review. So many times people have an amazing review. I've been banned, by the way, as the pizza owner, right? He has someone come up, "Man, the pizza was amazing. It was incredible." And all band's thinking is, did you leave a review though? Did you leave a review? Did you write that? And the answer is probably no. So if they have this, it will make sure that they actually leave the review. Another one, CRM and calendar system, right? Making the managing of appointments a lot more seamless, particularly so for something like a salon or a service-based business, a barber, etc. And then text message marketing, classic high level, obviously circumstance, making sure that you have automated messaging workflows going out to ensure that, hey, this is an offer, this is a birthday campaign, whatever it may be in a general sense. We're seeing the total value ranging in that $3,700 to $4,000 a month mark. We think at the minimum, you should be charging $500 a month with an $1,000 setup fee. We'll talk a few other ways to package it tomorrow, but this would be the minimum. There's definite models in which you could be charging $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 for setup. You could charge $5,000 for setup and include 6 months of the service. So there's definitely different ways we'll talk about strategically how to do it, but we know that you're looking for a very simple baseline. But again, the main thing, we'll talk about this more tomorrow, is selling the result. Selling the result. Each one of these by itself can be sold. And when you share this with someone, they might get overwhelmed, which is the opposite of what you want. All you have to do is say, look, these are the benefits. Even if we focus on one of them, like conversational AI and having the after hours answering service, if you focus on that, you're going to get massive value from this. This is how we're going to talk about it a lot more tomorrow. But in a general sense, it's really important. Anything else you want to bring up before we continue here? Cool.
Let's keep going.
So again, the other consideration, this is one of the things that we have in our sales deck about the understanding of breaking down the other options. So here's traditional phone versus hiring an assistant versus hiring Lenny. Okay. So in traditional voicemail, it's bad. I mean, this is a pretty simple way to say it. Handles calls and inquiries. It doesn't do that. Doesn't book appointments. It's not available 24/7. Obviously, it's affordable. It's part of the product. It's part of your phone system. But hiring an assistant, they'll handle calls and inquiries, but they can get sick, right? They need vacation. They have to get paid for their time. They can book appointments. Obviously, it's very dependent on their sales ability. And newsflash, in case you're unaware, a lot of people that handle assistant duties, paralegals, people that are front and office staff, they're not trained in sales at all. Yeah, they're just not. And they need to be because it's part of it, right? They book appointments. That's why it's limited. They're not available 24/7. That would be obviously inappropriate to do to a human being, but totally you can abuse the AI. It's okay. They don't have family to go back to. It's okay. They're available 24/7. It's all good. You don't have to feel bad about it. Robots, right? iRobot's not a real thing. So don't worry about it. We're good. It's also not really affordable. Like it's going to cost a significant amount of money about opportunity cost, time, turnover, trying to find the person, train the person, make sure they're doing it correctly. Then you have to track and review all of their calls to make sure they're saying things properly. It's a lot. It's a lot to deal with, right? Obviously, Lenny has all of those factors. And what are the kind of 3 main results that we were referencing? You miss revenue, right? Every missed call, of course, depending on business, could be costing you hundreds of dollars, right? If your average salon service is a balayage for $350, every single call that you miss could be that missed opportunity. And who knows, they might bring their 3 best girlfriends with them too. For a roofing company, if they're missing out on a job, they can miss a $500 repair or a $10,000 re-roof. These are real things that happen, by the way. This is not some sort of like assumption-based model. We see this over and over with people that have sold very successfully missed call text back. Simply put, people miss calls, they miss money. It's the simplest way to say it, right?
You just brought up a really good point, Alex. Let's say a business has, what was the name of that fancy Bellagio thing that you mentioned?
Balayage. Oh man, Chase,
What
come
is
on,
it?
man. Your husband. Go ahead.
I'm out of the market. So let's say they're running a promo on that, or let's say it's a med spa and they want to sell cool sculpting. You can tell your bot, hey, before you get off the call, make sure they know about our cool sculpting promotion, right? Front desk people are terrible at that, but an AI won't miss it. and it will generate all sorts of sales and leads just by consistently letting people know that there's a promotion, you know?
Such a great insight. And I have a perfect example of this. Does anyone use 1-800 contacts? Can you drop a one in the chat if you use 1-800 contacts? They're probably the best customer service company that I've ever seen. If you call their number, they'll know who you are within 2 minutes. They'll be able to sell you. And every single time, Chase, no matter what you do, they will always try to upsell you on buying more boxes every time. Their team is very well trained. But guess what? How many companies are like 1-800 contacts with human beings? They're the 1%. They're the 1%. Constantly, when you talk to people, they're forgetting things. Constantly, salespeople are hanging up, like, oh, dang, I was supposed to sell them 3 boxes and I totally forgot. Hopefully, my boss doesn't check that out. It's so
That's
common.
right.
This can't
Yep.
happen with AI. It's going to make sure, hey, make sure they know the Black Friday offer. Make sure they know our Christmas offer. Make sure to say happy holidays. Make sure to say happy new year. These types of things are going to make it massively beneficial to leverage this. It's going to be huge. If you ever want to check out 1-800 contacts, pretty amazing how good their customer service.
On that note, talking about upselling and discounts and whatnot, in one of the things I've added on into my pizza shops is because we noticed a lot of people call in just ask for, hey, do you have a coupon, right? And traditionally we've seen our employees answer. A lot of times they'll say no, or I don't know if there's an available coupon, or they give out whatever they have. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So I've actually added on a coupon that is 10% off your order, and it's called AI 10, right? So now we can track how many of those calls came in and redeemed that coupon. And generally, that's enough for those guys to go, okay, great, I've got a coupon, let's go order now, right? And just use that instead of saying, oh, okay, no, I'm gonna go find someone else who has a better deal.
Absolutely. Love it. All right. So in terms of the next step here, so we're all clear, right? Your ROI ultimately is the key element, right? Making this as an easy decision as possible. And we're gonna, again, talk more about salesmanship tomorrow in a general sense, but this is an easy way to understand kind of the bridge concept. They have a problem, which is missed revenue. The solution is saving them money, and the alternative is not a viable solution. It's going to cost them more time and more money. Things that cost someone more time and more money means the alternative, of course, is better. The only fear that you have to overcome is technological fear, which is a simple demo and also a simple realization of you were probably once afraid of the smartphone. Everyone has it now. This is your opportunity to get ahead of it. It's going to work. And we're going to talk about that a lot more. So it really comes down to $500 a month versus losing revenue every single month, upwards of $5,000, $10,000 potentially, and then a receptionist, which might cost anywhere from $1,500 to $3,000 a month, and likely have to be salaried as well, right? This is a no-brainer. The concept here that we even put in is like, even at a break-even point, if you just get it at 5 additional bookings per month, meaning you are maximizing the current opportunities you have, this is a no-brainer. Again, most other people that they're getting offers from, marketers, are offering them to spend thousands of dollars on ads to create new opportunities. So if you're saying, well, what happens if they're already working with someone that's having them spend thousands of dollars? Great, they need it even more because they're missing more opportunities, right? If you pour more water into a leaky bucket, more water is wasted. That's how it works. It doesn't matter if it's a waterfall or if it's just a small little, trickle of water. They're still missing the opportunities. That's the whole concept here, okay? So again, as a thank you to all of you for being here, we said sessions are going to be 90 minutes. Tomorrow, we're going to cover more on sales specifically. Huge shout out, of course, to Chase as well, just for being here. Over the next 3 days, we're going to give you the 5 pitch decks we have. We're going to send it to everyone Friday, December 20th. Also, yes, we will have the replays. Yes, you will get the replays. We want you to be able to watch this, review it, feel comfortable about it. We don't expect you to listen to us for 90 minutes and be like, I know everything now. Perfect. You're not AI. You're a human being. So it's okay. It's all good. See what I did there? I've been waiting for that moment, by the way, like 70 minutes. So hopefully it landed. Joking aside, though, we're excited and appreciative of all of you being here. I want to know if anyone right now feels confident about crushing this offer based off of kind of the framework we gave you of the ideal market, what to sell, how to sell it, what to position, pricing. Again, we went through the overview. Tomorrow we'll dive into more detail. Does anyone feel ready? Like, I'm ready to go now. I'm ready to go sell this now. I want to do this. Beautiful.
I just saw somebody said, does this apply to my legacy clients? Of course. What an
100%.
amazing opportunity to go to all your existing clients and say, hey guys, this new thing called voice AI is possible. Can I show it to you? I mean, that's a
Absolutely.
layup.
And it's also not only a layup, it's also a huge service to them. You're impacting them in a massive way because if you don't think that they're going to get, or they already have not got in their email, AI offers over the next 30, 60, 90 days, you're wrong. They're going to get them. So be ahead of it. Be ahead of it, okay? Now, the next piece here, right, is like if you feel like you can begin selling this today, I saw a bunch of people say that, but I also want to talk about the alternative too, like being realistic. Like, what if you're like worried about taking too long on the details? I feel like this is a pretty common problem. Like, how do I like optimize the AI properly? How do I train it? Like, I understand the theory behind it, but now how do I deliver, right? How do I make sure that I'm actually following through on the promises of what I'm actually selling? Obviously, that's a key element. So if you're concerned about missing the AI boat because you're worried that it will take you too long to do this correctly, to set this up right, to make sure that it's done with dotted I's and crossed T's, we put together a boot camp, 12-day boot camp to shortcut to help you, right? Again, we're giving you all the tactical information, but if you want more handholding, support, and insight of how to do this, we put together a 12-day boot camp to help you actually get this done and start selling it. But remember, as we say this, okay, I want to make sure you understand your commitment and Extendly's commitment. Okay. We're going to help you launch everything within your AI agency in a 12-day period on a bootcamp. We're going to give you literally everything you need to succeed with the material, the coaching, the accountability, the support, the validation as well, making sure that you feel comfortable with the Q&A. But this is important. You also have to commitment to yourself and to us. You have to follow through on the work. You have to come to the trainings. You have to implement it. You have to execute it, even with fear, even with uncertainty. In fact, if you are fearful and are uncertain, that means you need it even more, right? If you're not ready this second to say, okay, I'm going to go outside to Main Street and start selling it, you need more hand-holding support to get there. But you have to understand there's work that needs to be done. This is not done for you. It's not, okay, here it is, package, go sell. It's unique. It's still new. We have to work this with you. Okay, this is the boot camp that we're going to do for you. So here's what we set up and put this together. Okay, the ultimate AI agency in a box. The idea behind it is the resources, the tools, and the guidance. Make it as simple as possible for you to launch, scale, and succeed in a 12-day period with the intention essentially that you can go right into the new year and start selling this product now. That's what we want for you, right? Done for you resources, all the tools you need, guidance to launch it has never been easier thanks to the help of Extendly and the amazing team that they've put together. So first step, we have to make sure we develop the AI offer. We told you this today already. We broke down what we recommend as the AI offer. If you want to work with us hand in hand to develop it more in tune with specific to your niche, specific to your questions, not with 560 people on the session, but more in a 1-to-1 or 1-to-10, 1-to-15 people, this is how we can help you start and sell faster without having to rack your brain about how do I position it? How do I sell it? How do I price it? We're going to have pre-built sales pages for 4 main niches: restaurants, real estate, home services, and salons. Your next question is going to be, what if I'm not in those niches? That's the very next bullet. We have a non-niche specific sales page. If you're not in those niches, you'll probably have 30 additional minutes of editing that sales page to fit your niche, and then we will confirm it for you and validate for you in the bootcamp, right? That's the idea. You'll have a review AI sales page, a special offer sales page. So if you want to do like end of year, annual plans, new year bonuses, whatever it may be, that's what you would use it for. All the promo sequences that Sharon does, you guys don't understand like how amazing Sharon and the webinar team are. Like, to get consistently 500 plus people to show up is very hard. It's very hard. The only way they do that is by actually optimizing and understanding what email and SMS promo sequences work. You're going to get them for you. Okay. The 7-day post demo sequence to make sure that they actually buy. This is obviously a critical element as well. And then the scheduling and demo integrations. We put together everything you need to be able to have the offer appropriately, and we're going to help you with this. This is the ultimate AI in a box, agency in a box snapshot. Okay. And again, you're going to have this tool. There's a little bit of work you have to do with us, but we're going to help set it up for you. Okay. Number 2, obviously, once you have the offer set up, how do we get leads, right? Like, how do we make sure that we are actually able to sell it? We want you to sell this one-to-many and one-to-one. The one-to-one approach would be what we spoke about with Chase earlier: going in person, reaching out to your local businesses, going in person, and then, of course, talking. I said going in person twice, but going to talk to your current clients, of course. But what about new leads? We want you to leverage our pre-built AI webinar system. Again, this is what we do on a consistent basis, month over month. Webinars, combining that with Facebook ads, reaching out to your audience. It's really the most effective way to sell one-to-many without having to spend hours in one-to-one calls. Someone asked us like really early in the session. We are going to give you everything you need. Set up and launch your ads, help and guide you through your first webinar, from the presentation, slides, and follow-up. Every single step of the way you will be supported. It includes all of the stuff that you need to set this up: the registration page, the activate, boost, convert sequence to make sure that people show up to the session, not just register to the session. The AI pitch deck is already completed for you, a webinar recorded by myself, and webinar templates, which is graphics and templates for the actual ads itself. And then we're going to set it up with you. That's the whole intention. Again, This doesn't mean that you can go do it right away. You have to come to the boot camp with us. But again, we're really fast, fast tracking your success and shortcutting what you have to work on. Okay. Number 3 is implementation and accountability. This is really where the 12-day boot camp comes in. This is to make sure that you're staying on track, following through on the things that you've promised you're going to do, and make sure that you make money. That's the whole intention, right? This isn't a, hey, take it, set and forget. We're off the table. Extendly's not doing anything else. This is us ensuring that you stay accountable. You don't get lost in the nuances. You don't get lost in losing your progress. If you stay on track with us in the 12-day boot camp and you follow through, you will succeed. That's what it takes. But you have to do it even with fear, even with uncertainty. You have to do the work. That's the key. Okay. We're going to give you step-by-step guide. Okay. From January 6th to January 31st. Every single session here is laid out for you. Obviously, you have the calendar breaking down how to do this in a very specific set. And before you ask, yes, of course, the replays will be available. We don't expect you to come to a 60-minute session and feel, I know every single thing. It's okay to watch the replays. It's okay to ask questions on the follow-ups. We'll make sure you're supported so you get what you need. Okay? So in terms of like what it looks like after the 12 days, right? I thought it was fun to be a little corny and be like, you will be unstoppable. Okay, what does that mean though? Like what does that actually mean? Your offer is going to be ready to launch. That's the most important thing for you to feel comfortable with. You understand the theory behind what we've spoken about today, but you want to make sure that you have something that you can deliver upon. We are a client success company, right? We want you to sell something that you're going to be able to deliver upon, not just sell snake oil because AI is easy to sell. That's the opposite of what we want you doing. We want you something that's going to allow you to sell it. And in order to sell it, you need to have a clear strategy for generating leads, which we will provide for you. Okay. You're also going to have a powerful webinar presentation to sell one to many. All right. So you can turn these leads into buyers, people that actually adopt the AI, and you're going to show exactly how to demo it and sell it. I will teach you that specifically, and I'm excited to do that. I love doing it. I'm going to share a little bit more about that tomorrow. Like we said, you can do this with us and shortcut it, or you can just listen to the 3 days and decide for yourself how you want to do it. Okay. We all assume by the end of the 3 days, the majority of you are going to say, I really like a little bit more hand-holding support, which is cool. What does it mean? You're positioned to win, right? You're positioned to win because you know that your clients are going to achieve real success. You feel confident with the offer. You know that you're going to make profit from it. You know your clients are going to easily buy it. And you know that they're going to be happy and successful. That's ultimately key. We don't want you selling anything that you're not confident with or that your clients won't win with, okay? Here's kind of the breakdowns in a simple format. Normally, the AI agency in a box snapshot's $24.95. It includes all these elements that I already went through, and you can get started with us right now at getextendly.com/AI. The AI webinar system again. So the first one is the offer. The second one is how to generate sales, meaning this is how you're going to generate leads and opportunities. The third one is all the lead magnets. So we put together a ton of lead magnets for you to make this a lot simpler and more effective, to make sure that you have the ways to generate the opportunity. So we have an ebook of 7 ways, AI can boost efficiency and sales for your business. Go give that to people, print it out, give it to them in person, share it, send it out to your list. It's hugely valuable. A lead opt-in page. So anyone that you're not doing a webinar, you want to do it this model instead, opt in, book a call, one-to-one, sell it. 7-day nurture sequence, making sure they become clients, the white labeled AI demo video and the pre-recorded webinar, and of course, all the ad templates for you to set up and run ads. If you want this to scale at scale, ads are going to be the way, right? Of course, you can still do a lot of in-person one-to-one, but scaling needs to be ads, okay? And less than probably 10% of people that do this will run ads, meaning you're gonna have even more of a blue ocean available to you, okay?
Hello, this is our voice AI demo. Are you ready to get started?
This is the demo.
Yes, I am.
Great. Let's start by getting some basic information. Could you please tell me your name, business name, phone number, and email address?
Yeah, my first name is John and my last name is Doe.
Got it, John Doe. What's the name of your business?
Kansas City Fencing.
Perfect. And could you share your phone number and email address, please?
Yeah, my email address is john@doe.com.
Thanks, John. And what's the best phone number to reach you at?
It's 123-456-7890.
Great. So that's 123-456-7890. Let's move on to the demo. I'll show you how an AI assistant can help Kansas City Fencing with sales and customer service. What are some of the main services you offer?
We offer new construction fencing. We do some repairs as well, but new construction fencing in the Kansas City area is our specialty. And we also work with wood fences, vinyl fences, and metal fences predominantly.
Awesome. So new construction and repairs for wood, vinyl, and metal fences. What's the primary goal when customers call you? Is it to book appointments or maybe get estimates?
Typically, they're not customers yet, they're prospects, and they normally have a number of different questions about the fencing products that we offer, and they tell us a little bit about their situation. And what we hope is that they would book an on-site free estimate appointment.
Perfect. So the goal is to answer their questions and book an on-site free estimate. Let's dive into the demo now. I'll simulate being your business's AI assistant. Here we go. Hello, this is Rachel with Kansas City Fencing. How can I help you today? Feel free to ask any questions a customer might have.
Hi, Rachel. My name is John, and I have a metal fence in my backyard that I've had for about 10 years. It's all dilapidated and rusted. I'm looking for someone in the area that could remove that fence and install a new wood fence for me, potentially.
We can definitely help with that. We specialize in removing old fences and installing new ones, including wood fences. Would you like to schedule a free on-site estimate to discuss your project in detail?
I am interested in setting up an estimate, I think. I'm just curious, what all does that involve exactly, an estimate appointment?
Great question. During the estimate appointment, one of our experts will visit your property to assess the current fence and discuss your preferences for the new wood fence. They'll provide you with a detailed quote and answer any questions you might have. Does that sound good?
Yeah, that sounds good to me. When do you guys have availability?
Let's see. We have openings this week on Thursday and Friday. Would either of those days work for you?
Thursday morning would work for me if that works for you guys.
Perfect. Let's pencil you in for Thursday morning. I'll make sure our team is ready to meet with you then. Thank you for participating in the demo. I'll switch back to my previous role now so we can discuss the next steps. Did you find this demonstration helpful?
Yeah, I thought the demonstration was very impressive. I'm interested.
I'm thrilled to hear that. Would you like us to schedule a call with a sales team member to discuss getting this set up for your business?
Yeah, that would be excellent. Thank you.
I'm sending you the link to book a sales appointment now. Fantastic. I've arranged for a sales team member to reach out to you soon. Thank you so much for your time, John. I'm excited about the potential of working together with Kansas City Fencing. If you have any more questions, feel free to reach out. Have a great day.
You as well. Thank you.
So we've put together this kind of demo to make it easier for you to show how to do this. Obviously, you can do your own version as well. Someone asked, how does the scheduling work? Just for clarity, it sends out a link to book it just for absolute clarity. But we put together demos like tools and sales tools to make this easier for you. That's part of the boot camp, obviously. So 3-minute video showcasing the power of AI, the voice AI demo prompt. So to show how to actually demo it, to highlight the capabilities, this is going to be the most important thing, right? You have to show, right? Don't tell. It's really what it's going to come down to, right? Demo call and pitch deck, meaning how to actually close. This is really from like my model, the one called close process that I've done with prospecting on demand for such a long time. I'm here to coach you and support you on, and I love doing that. So it'll be a lot of fun. We'll talk more about that obviously tomorrow too. Client fulfillment, right? Of course, we need to make sure you can actually deliver for your clients. We'll give you prompt templates for the voice AI, streamline prompts so the clients can use it so you don't have to try to figure it out yourself, make it super easy. And then the review campaign snapshot just to make sure that they can get more reviews effortlessly. Just trying to make this as easy as possible for you to implement versus having to dot every I, cross every T, and miss out on opportunities. That's really the last thing we want for you, right? Okay, next piece, again, just as a quick recap, is the 12-day bootcamp. Everything you're going to need to launch this successfully. You can get started with us at getextendly.com/AI. We're going to do live coaching twice a week with humans. I love that we wrote humans, by the way. We're not delegating the coaching to AI yet, but we just want to make sure that's clear. Private community access with like-minded peers and experts who are also human. Just want to clarify that. They're also human beings in the private community too. So here's everything that you need to launch your AI agency: ultimate agency snapshots, the AI webinar system, our lead magnets, the sales tools, the client fulfillment, and the 12-day boot camp. Normally, we think the value here is worth at least $17,000. You're really looking at essentially, around one client basically will get you profitability if you sell it at 3,000 and they, agree to 3 months, or 5,000 and agree to 6 months. It's $29.95, end of year special price. We're doing this now. It will increase price at the beginning of the new year just because we're looking for the early adopters to help you set this all up. For less than 3K, you can have literally the roadmap to a 10K agency pretty fast, as long as you do the work. That's really the biggest thing here. The real investment is not the finances. The real investment is going to be the work. You have to come to the calls, you have to implement the sessions, you have to put the time in. You can either do this yourself and try to figure it out, and hopefully you'll be able to do it quickly without kind of racking your brain on it. Or if you're concerned that you're going to nitpick everything, you're uncertain of exactly what to do, you're worried that you're going to kind of miss the boat on it, and you want to make sure you have a very clear trajectory for growth, this is the exact thing you want to invest into. It's really, really important that you consider that. We want you to make money from this. As long as you come in, put in the work, give us the shot to help you, you will. That's what it's going to take. Any questions at all, we will happily answer. Obviously, huge shout out to all of you for being here for so long. Tomorrow, again, we're doing this exact session tomorrow. Tomorrow is strictly going to be focused on selling. So if you want like a taste of that process and understanding that so you can see, obviously come tomorrow. It's going to be really good. We're really excited about it. And then the next day, more technical things to help you set this up. Again, we're trying to give you all the tactical information today. We really hope you enjoyed the information and the session. And if you're ready to rock and roll, let's do it. This is, again, just for clarity, the ultimate AI snapshot. It is our end of year special. Okay. We can seat 100 people in the boot camp. 32 of the spots are remaining right now. We do start on January 6th. I saw someone say, I won't forget that date. Good. That's why we chose it for sure. That's the exact reason. Come on January 6th. We want to see you there. We're excited about it. Obviously, we haven't been able to do this in a while. If you've enjoyed the webinars, just imagine what it's like being a client and letting us support and help you. But yeah, we'd love to see you there. We'd love to support you and help you set this up. We want to see you win, right? Last year we had 252 people from Extendly as clients, get on stage. We want to see that again. We want to see you grow, see you win. That's what we want to see you do. Just let us help you. That's what it's going to take.
All right. We're going to open it up for a Q&A now. We have a ton of questions in the chat. So Chase, Beyond, Alex, I'm going to read out the questions and you guys can, whoever feels comfortable answering it can take a shot. So first one we have here, can reviews AI be made HIPAA compliant?
That's a good
Chase, I think
question.
I'm
I
ready
saw
for that.
somebody else asking about that, and I haven't had time to follow up. I don't know if Fair is still here. He might have an update on that. But good question, important question. I don't want to give the wrong answer to that one, so I'm going to punt it until I've had time to chat with the legal team and our HIPAA consultants.
No worries. Awesome. Thank you. Another one along the same terms, but slightly different. Is it more than just Google reviews, or can we reply automatically on Yelp and Facebook as well?
It's just Google and Facebook right now, but the listings team is actually working on an update where you'll be able to pull in more types of reviews based on Yelp's different or Yex's different packages. So you'll be able to do like what's the big one in the restaurant world that everybody hates?
Oh, Yelp.
Yelp.
Yelp. Oh, duh, I already said it. Yelp, and then there'll be like healthcare options, like health grades and those kinds of things. So in 2025, you'll see us roll out more sources for sure.
Awesome. And then in a recent YouTube video about voice AI, Sean mentioned that you can get over the hurdle of businesses already using a number by having something roll over to another. Could you explain this a bit further?
Yeah, so that was what I mentioned. If you just Google like how to forward missed calls for Verizon landlines, like you'll find their help docs. We even have one. If you just go to help.gohello.com and search like forward unanswered calls or forward missed calls to landline, they each have like a code that you just punch in from the phone, and then it'll forward calls that don't get answered.
Awesome. A few people were asking about if it can be translated into different languages.
Soon. Not yet. Right now it's only in English.
Okay, awesome.
English and several English accents like British accent, Australian accent, all of those are there as well. And 60 some options to choose from.
Sharon, can I ask a question for a sales question that someone had?
Yes.
Someone asked, is the price for the boot camp only for one person, or can I also have other people from my team join so they can learn?
You can have, it's for your agency. So you can have other teammates from your agency join in as well. So for one HighLevel account, I would say.
We will also ask that on the boot camp, out of respect from everyone else, in case you have a team of 4 and someone else has a team of 1 or 2, that just note like what team you're part of in the session so that we can make sure we're supporting everyone. That's the intention, right? So absolutely, for your agency, we're here to help you.
Um, okay. So another person is asking, do we need to get A2P compliant to run the voice AI?
So you don't, which is awesome. But if you do want to do like hey, we're going to send you a text in a second, then obviously you would need to. But you can just go create a number right now and set up a voice AI agent and test it out in a couple of minutes, which again, I would suggest you guys do because it's free until the end of the year. So it's a great time to get your hands in there and start figuring it out for yourself before you actually have to pay for it.
Absolutely. And will this recognize the caller and company if they already exist in the contact list?
Good question. I don't think so as of now. So I think the answer is no, but Bant would probably know more than me.
Sorry, what was the question? I was answering
It
someone else's.
doesn't know context, does it? Like if you call back,
No, not yet.
yeah,
Not yet. But I'm sure that'll get there fairly soon
for
as
sure.
well. But at this time, it doesn't.
Okay. So with most technology gets better and cheaper over time as it matures. Do you expect this to happen with voice AI as well? If so, how do you suggest we adjust when other providers come in offering the same or better service for significantly less?
So sorry, I got sidetracked. Of course, it's going to get better. It'll rapidly get better. I like the way Alex put it. This is the worst that it will ever be. But the pricing is actually amazing. So you can go $97 and it's unlimited, which I don't think anybody else offers. Or you can go pay per use and it's 13 cents a minute. That's basically the competitive wholesale rate if you were to go to like an underlying wholesale provider, which unless you're a developer, you wouldn't because you wouldn't know what to do. If you go look at products that are in the market, like HeyRosie.com is an AI answering service. You can go check them out right now. I think they're at like 25 cents a minute or something like that. So you can literally double the price because you get to do that in HighLevel. You get to set your own markup and you can go still offer better pricing than what's already in the market today.
Chase, a couple people asked about the costs of the fulfillment. Can you talk about that a little bit? Like, what's the costs of the fulfillment to use the AI?
Yeah,
That's
so yeah,
sorry,
yeah,
go ahead.
it's $97 a month if you want just unlimited, and that gets you unlimited conversation AI, unlimited voice AI, unlimited replies, all of that
Per person that you sell,
per
or
sub account. Yeah, per sub account.
okay. So if
So
you
per
sell at
client.
$500 a month, your profit per client is $400 per month, roughly, right? Because you have to pay $97 per. So I just
If
want
you
everyone
go unlimited, or you could put them as pay per usage model and just put a margin on that yourself, and then they're
just do
literally just
unlimited. Just do unlimited.
yeah, I would go unlimited.
It's $97. Just do unlimited. Okay, cool. You're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's a good one. This is one around Shopify. So if a client has a Shopify store, can the voice recommend products and send the Shopify link for that product over SMS?
Not yet, but I mean, we'll get there at some point, which will be really exciting. I did hear, and this was funny because this shouldn't work, but a guy on a webinar I was on was like, I just told my prompt that when they ask questions to go look up the answer on this website, and he put a link to, um, I think it was like a CSV or a spreadsheet or something like that. And it was working. And our team was like, that shouldn't work, but it's awesome that it does. So stuff like that will work in the near future. But as of right now, no, the official answer is not yet.
Okay, awesome. So question
But
around,
test it because you might get lucky.
yeah, you may be able to make a workaround, right? Is it better to sell these AI services as a one-time payment or a monthly payment from the client?
Monthly, of course. Um, One thing I've learned at my 6 years at HighLevel and watching lots of other SaaS startups fail is the founder's deal is the worst idea ever. A lifetime, one-time deal,
Never
you
do that.
you can
Never,
never grow a business like that.
never. I personally like the idea for for an alternative perspective or contrarian perspective. I really like the idea of selling this as a software with a service on the front end. So like do a 6 month, $5,000 agreement or 3 months, whatever it may be. And then after that, then they get billed monthly. Because at that point, they're already going to have to be using it. The concept of turning it off by the time they have to start paying the monthly would be outrageous. There's no possible way they would do it. That just is a way for you to make sure that you make more money up front. Because again, I think a lot of people are going to end up defaulting to for free. I'll do it for free. I'll do it for 500. I'll do it for 1,000. Just just charge more. Like just charge more. And then go afterwards. Don't default to it. That would be my opinion.
This is an important one for everyone to realize as well. What does ongoing support look like for any AI services that I set up? For example, how much time after you set up the client's account does it take to manage once the initial setup is done?
It's primarily just training. There isn't any additional like going in and setting things up required from you. Once you get voice AI enabled, you get the phone number working and it's transferring calls and whatnot. I would definitely recommend collecting data as well. See what type of questions people are asking and kind of feed that into a spreadsheet. If you don't know how to do that, I think we've put together training on how to do that as well. So we'll show you how to do exactly that. But it's just making the voice AI smarter and smarter as it learns more about the business. As more and more FAQs come in, and you can do that. Like you can sit down once a week or something on an account, and go enter in a few more questions that actually make sense to be entered in, if you wanted to. But there's not a lot of time and effort required on the ongoing.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Sharon, someone asked about a billing question. Would it be billing at getextendly.com?
Billing at getextendly.com.
Boom shakalaka.
Before I continue on to a few more Q&As, so we are doing a same time, same link tomorrow as well, 90 minutes long. Tomorrow's gonna be all about how to sell this offer that we went over with you guys today over webinar. So exactly what we're doing right now. So we'll share with you guys our webinar strategy and how you can implement the same thing for yourself. So on to the next question. How many simultaneous calls can each voice AI handle at once?
That's a cool question.
That's a great question. I don't know if Fair is still here. I think he knows the exact answer, but I think it's like 20, maybe more.
I don't think Fur may have left. He was here.
It could definitely handle multiple.
Yeah.
I personally haven't tested how many simultaneous calls, but I've read in the community that people have said 5 or 10 or something of that nature. So I think even 5 is more than enough for a majority of the businesses, unless you're a super busy shop and you've got a ton of simultaneous calls coming in. But which I'm pretty sure it can handle more than that as well. But 5 solves like 99% of the problems.
Someone asked a really important question. They said, is this going to help me understand the business process in order to implement this properly related to the boot camp? The answer is yes. This is exactly why we're doing the boot camp versus, hey, here's just some snapshots, here's some video trainings, go figure it out yourself. The soft skill portion of it with like this Q&A as an example is why we're doing the boot camp. So you can understand the business process for the 4 elements: the offer, the prospecting, the sales, and the fulfillment. We will help with all 4 of those things. There's going to be tools and resources like the snapshots to make it easier for you. And then there's going to be the soft skills like role playing it, understanding how to position it, what your specific price should be based off of your specific niche, what you should do based off of your current circumstances. That's the whole point. That's exactly the whole point of the boot camp. But again, you must do the work. This isn't a snapshot that's ready to go sell right now. You have to do the work with us to get this right. Otherwise, it won't work. Otherwise, don't do it. Please, please. We want you to win. That's the whole goal.
Absolutely.
And another one I want to help answer is someone mentioned that 32 spots left, marketers being marketers, right? I just want to say that those are actual 32 spots. The reason why the other 68 or so, whatever that number is, have gone is because we quietly released this during Black Friday. And so people have taken up those spots. So the remaining 32 is all that we have left for the January bootcamp.
We're not going to disrespect you guys with like marketing to marketers with the idea that we're going to use fake scarcity or urgency. It's one thing in general to use it at all, but it is another thing altogether to use it to people who know the whole tactic. That's not how we operate. And just in case you weren't available for this webinar, I think it was Halloween, Sharon, if I'm right. We had a special
Mhm.
webinar on Halloween, and Sharon accidentally said the wrong number, which then we had to fulfill upon, which was hilarious. I don't remember what happened. I think it was supposed to say 3, but then it was actually 25 that purchased, so we had to deliver it. We don't make up the numbers. We're here to actually help you.
Yeah, I have the funnel stats to show you guys that 68 are sold and 32 are left.
Right.
Um, okay, so somebody else along the boot camp asked, when are they happening? So they're going to start January 6th and every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4
Here's the
p.m.
schedule.
EST. This is the schedule. So it is 12 sessions and they're going to go from January 6th to January 31st. And every session has a particular topic that we're going to be working through together. So if you guys go to that page, getexcelling.com/AI, you can read in detail the whole schedule.
One other thing as well, if like, oh, I can't make a couple of sessions, the replays will be there for you. The community will be there for you to support you. So don't let that be the reason why you wouldn't take the action, okay?
Awesome. So question about the AI offer and combining it with regular high-level accounts. So when we are selling the AI offer, is this on top of their regular sub-account fee?
I mean, this is obviously totally up to you, right? But I think if, yes, I would sell this as its own package for sure. Short
Yeah.
answer.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of people could confuse it for themselves as well. Is this on top of for us as an agency? Yeah, you're already paying your high level fee, whatever that is, right? The 297, 497 plan that you might be on. The $97 is your cost, not your customer's cost. You can sell it to your customer for whatever you want, and that's only if you're adding them on an unlimited plan. You're free to go the usage-based model until they reach up to that $97 worth of usage, and then switch them over to the unlimited plan if you want to do that as well. That's an option available to you. But just the unlimited plan, $97 is your cost, and it just makes it easier to know my costs are capped at the $97 for all of the AI usage, and I don't have to pay an additional fee, so I can charge and I can increase my margins. So if I'm charging someone $500 a month, HighLevel doesn't cost you anything additional extra to give them features of HighLevel. The only thing that's costing you extra is the $97, the unlimited amount. So you've got a $400 margin built in there for you to be able to profit off of.
And that's where you can get creative by adding in specific features of HighLevel that complement your plan, right? So for example, in this example offer that we gave you guys, we included the CRM calendars and what was the last one? SMS marketing, right? The two-way SMS. We didn't include all of HighLevel because we got creative and paired up just the features that are going to work particularly well for our specific niche, which was salons in that example. So understand who you're selling to, what they're going to need, and make your offering in that manner. Beyond, this is a good one for you. If I go to a pizza shop that has 5 locations, what should I charge setup plus per location for all 5?
Yeah, so when you have multiple locations, you can afford to make a deal there, so you can have multiple location discounts and whatnot as well if you want to. Your cost for every single one of them is going to be $97 per location, right? So you're entering in 5 locations, so 5 times 97, that's your AI cost that you're going to pay. If you were charging $500 per location, you can drop it down to $300 or $400 per location because you're getting multiple. If you want to do that, you absolutely don't have to, but if you you know, if let's say you're, for whatever reason, you're getting an upfront payment or something and offering a discount, you can offer a reduced pricing to that customer for getting multiple locations on. You can, if you're charging a setup fee, you can, as a way to help them make the decision easier, instead of saying, hey, because you're bringing on all 5 of your locations at the same time, we'll waive the setup fee on the remaining 4, or we'll reduce it to 50% of the total setup fee. You can make up those deals as you wish necessary to help close that client for yourself. But your cost on a per location basis is limited to the $97 per location. You can do anything you want above and beyond that.
Absolutely. Okay, since we are over the 90 minutes, I just want to be mindful of everyone's time. Chase, yours as well. If you have a few more minutes, we can ask a few more questions up to how much availability you have.
Sure, I'm good for another 10.
Okay, awesome. So this is a question that I've seen come up a few times. What's your best practice when a client is interested in AI voice, but already has a primary number? Is it better to forward the primary number to the AI, port it over, or replace it? What's the easiest approach with the least amount of resistance?
So I think we covered this one. If they're using like Verizon or Comcast or whatever, just Google how to forward their missed calls and you can just punch in the code and then they don't have to change their number at all. Um, I typically find once people experience it, it's not a big deal to get them to swap their number. But if you don't want to deal with that, yeah, just look up the forward code.
Awesome.
You
Do you
can
recommend?
easily-
Yeah.
Sorry,
go
go
ahead.
ahead, Shay.
No, I was going to move on to the next question, but if you wanted to add something else on, go ahead.
Yeah,
Bill, sorry, just to clarify for Bill, because that is important. So unlimited AI is the AI fees. There's still the per minute cost to use a phone number. So that's like less than a penny a minute or whatever it is.
right. Yeah, in terms of cost, that's definitely important. That there's that additional fee. Similarly to text messages as well, the additional fee of the per segment that gets sent out, which both of them are less than a penny in each use case there. But in terms of the phone number, and then the phone number also being an additional cost itself, whatever the dollar charge that is for the phone. But in terms of the phone number, I believe it's something like *62. Then you enter in the number you want to forward to, and then you enter in HighLevel number, and it'll start forwarding the calls there. You can also just tell the business owner, hey, we can use this tracking number on your page, on your like Google business profile or something like that. And more than most of the time, they're okay with updating. I updated that on all of my pizza shops, and I haven't had a single problem with anyone calling the other number. Majority of the time, people don't save their numbers. They just Google or Yelp, whatever, the online platform is, to go look up what the number of that business is. No one saves numbers these days.
Yeah, and the other piece to that, if you're SEO minded, is Google My Business or Google Business Profile gives you multiple phone slots. And if you look into the studies, I haven't seen anything that says moving the real number to slot 2 and the new number in slot 1 affects SEO at all. So, in fact, when you connect a Google Business Profile to HighLevel, you can have it automatically do that. It will automatically move their existing number to the slot 2 and insert the HighLevel number into slot 1. And so we've been doing that for years with the missed call text back.
Okay. This is a question about the bootcamp, so I can answer it. Will the bootcamp allow me to start launching my project from day one or complete the entire program before I can begin? So this is meant to be simultaneous. So we're going to be teaching and you're going to have homework and be completing activities on your side as well. So it's meant to be simultaneous instead of going through all the learnings and then completing it at the end, because as questions come up, as you need help, we want to be there for you during that bootcamp period. That's why we're only doing it on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So you have Tuesday and Thursday to complete all the activities in between as well. So it's meant to be simultaneous. Do you recommend picking out a niche if you're starting out, or use a general landing page so you can help people in your local market first?
Yeah, make local businesses your niche if you're just getting started for sure. And
100%.
then as you get different customers, you'll realize, oh, I really love working with those veterinarians. They're just such nice folks. And then you'll double down from there.
A massive advantage for all of you is looking at events that are happening in the first month of January in your area for any business sector at all, any of them. Go to that event, be there, speak to people face to face. That could become your new niche, regardless of whether or not it's a new vertical or a one-time thing. The opportunity is absolutely massive. It's still brand new. Leverage it. Please do this.
Yeah, I like that. And again, remember, you're a member of that community trying to help the businesses of that community. If you stay within that mindset, it's hard to go wrong.
That's correct.
Chase, do you know if it's GDPR compliant?
No idea. That's a European thing, so my apologies. I'm not super versed on how GDPR applies to phone situations.
Yes. All right, I think those are all the major questions. I'm scrolling through now, and I think we've answered the other ones in one way or another. So really, really appreciate everyone's time today. Thank you so much, Chase, Beyond, Alex, for your expertise and knowledge as well. Reminder to everyone, same time, same link tomorrow, 10 a.m. PST, 1 p.m. Eastern, and we're going to be getting into webinars and how you can sell AI through webinars. So that's going to be a really, really powerful one for you guys to be here
Oh,
tomorrow.
I'm bringing the heat
Thank
tomorrow.
you
I'm bringing the heat.
so much for having us. This is such an amazing community. My personal challenge for you all is because it's free right now, take the first step and go make a number. It'll cost you $1 to create a phone number in HighLevel and set up a voice AI agent. It takes 2 seconds and just call it just to get your hands on it, right? Like the first step is actually doing something, and that's a really easy thing that you can do. It's free right now. Get your hands on it and you'll see how easy it is, and it'll sort of demystify it for you a little bit.
It's exactly right. It's exactly right. Dudley Extendly will help with the onboarding. Y'all will be back tomorrow and the day after at the same time, same link. We'll see you there. It's going to be an awesome session. We're looking forward to it. We appreciate all of you and all of your time. Sincerely, Chase, thank you so much for being here. Bayon, Sharon, and the entire Extendly team, y'all are amazing. All of you being here, you're all amazing for giving us your time. We appreciate you. We'll see you on the next one. Hope to see you inside the boot camp.
Bye, everybody.
Hey.